Rhonda's glasses. This episode of Hey Arnold, Rhonda finds out that she needs to wear glasses, and it kind of sucks for her because Rhonda is someone that takes fashion seriously and believes that glasses not only would make her look ugly, but make others think less of her. And that's what happens. She's forced to sit in the back of the bus because she's considered a nerd. She can only sit with the nerdy kids at lunch because that's just the way things are, and it really bugs Rhonda. And as she spends time with, the nerdy kids who she's forced to hang out with, like Eugene, she finds that life kind of sucks for the underkids. You have to sit in the back of the bus where people like Eugene who are motion sick are constantly throwing up. Your four-square spot constantly gets taken by other kids, and it's just genuinely a very ugly situation to be in. So Rhonda decides she's going to do something out of it. So she decides to pull Rosa Parks and refuse to sit in the back of the bus, saying it's a free country, I can do what I want. And eventually she inspires the other kids and the whole social structure breaks down. Eugene can sit in the front, the snobby popular girl Gloria is forced to sit in the back. All is well that ends well until the next episode when all the continuity resets. This is an episode I enjoy because, again, it's spotlighting a character that normally doesn't get the spotlight, which in this case is Rhonda. And we get a spotlight for her in a bunch of ways. One, we get to see her mother for the first time. We also get to see just how much fashion means to Rhonda, which we've seen bits before, but here we kind of see the whole appearance thing taken to an extreme. And it's done in a really relatable way. I think we all worry to some extent what others think of us and how what we wear, say, or do will affect how other people think of us. And we also have those days where everything seems to go wrong. What's interesting about Rhonda is that she's the popular fashion girl, and there's a lot of cartoons that have characters like this, like Pacifica from Gravity Falls or Brittany from Star and the Force of Evil. But while Rhonda certainly has this element of, I'm above everyone else, it's never to the point where she's, a snob or unlikable. In general, that's how it's been throughout the episodes. I mean, the only really unlikable characters, mean girl, has been Helga. So it is kind of interesting they kind of have never played her in that negative angle. And I do like how she goes through this transformation. I mean, Rhonda isn't this not snobby, she isn't this Miss Popular, Miss Fashion girl because she's mean. She's that way because it's all she knows, and she doesn't really understand the negative repercussions her actions are having on the other kids until she's forced to consider it from their point of view when she becomes a nerd herself. And then she realizes how much it does suck to sit in the back of the bus. When she sees how these circumstances arise, it makes her realize how much this sucks and how much it needs to be broken down. It's kind of an inverse of Mean Girls, where Mean Girls you have this sort of undergirl, this innocent girl becoming the popular girl and also kind of a bit of a jerk. Here we have the opposite. Here we have this popular kind of jerky girl who goes through this reformation and becomes a lesser innocent, but also a better person because of it. It's interesting how when Rhonda gets the glasses, she can see clearer not only in a literal way, but also in the metaphorical way of her social standing, just how much the social structure at her school sucks. I was really expecting this to go in the direction of how, Rhonda would get her glasses back and then she'd revert back to the way she was before, but then have sympathy and change. Instead, she keeps her glasses, and I thought that was an interesting choice. One thing I found interesting about this episode as well is it spotlighted the nerd crew, as I'm going to call them. Characters like Eugene, Curly, etc. And it's kind of interesting to kind of delve into that side of the school. Particularly with Eugene, who has his share of episodes, but most of the time he's just kind of this one-note character. Episode will be happening and then something bad will happen to Eugene. It's oh, poor Eugene. And I like how he had something to do here other than just be stepped on. I like the idea of Eugene just being completely content with his status. Not happy with it, but enduring it. The idea of him, enduring the brown paper bag. Seeing Rhonda bond with these characters was really enjoyable. When she realizes that they're good people who are just put down by who they are. And I don't know if this was the intent, but it's kind of an allegory for racism when you think about it. Just judging other people based on who they are. Not based on what they are, not who they are. Particularly with the bus thing and the Rosa Parks callbacks. It definitely felt like that. I like that the show is willing to tackle this kind of issue. My only real gripe with this episode is Helga. Because she's not the focus, she is just sort of the shallow jerk. It's really hypocritical when she puts down Rhonda. But she's friends with Phoebe, and They do acknowledge it, but I think Phoebe even, it's like, hey, you're talking about me, but it still doesn't change the fact that it does make her unlikable. It does sort of make her hypocritical. And I'll touch more on this in a bit. I do find Helga and Phoebe's friendship kind of interesting, because from a writing standpoint, I get the idea of pairing these two characters together who are different, but I do find it interesting how, despite the fact that Phoebe is basically everything that Helga wouldn't like and pick on, the fact is that these two are friends. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode and your thoughts on glasses in general. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.